Test, test, test. This is my second time doing this voiceover. This better work. Okay, hello everyone and welcome to day 34 of character design. Now, just a bit of a briefing before we get into today's character design. Yes, I have been doing Kruzan Corner in the predominantly every video recently. However, I am not planning to do that every video. I will just do it when I feel like it, or when Kruzan feels like it. It's not going to be in every video. It just did be like that. Plus, I do enjoy making shorter, more digestible videos. Sometimes I'll make them really long, sometimes I'll make them really short. Today's a pretty short video because this character is so simple, but that's that. Also, the goal is to get 365 characters by the end of the year. We have done technically 35 so far because I put 2 in one video before, but today is number 34. Day 34 technically. This character is a redesign. Here is the original concept we are working with. It is a wiener dog that is green and has a magenta stripe going down the tummy. And to start out, I just sketched the dog face I wanted. I made his nose lower and smaller on his face, and his nose is kind of bigger and more kind of arched softly, if that makes any sense. It makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to you, but hopefully I'm describing it in a way you understand. And I gave him a unibrow. Now, I did, when I was doing the original, or referencing the original, I wanted to keep more of that wiener dog neck because it's funny and cute, but sadly I could not figure that out on the sketch, so I ended up having to scrap it, which kind of a bummer because it's a really cool idea, but it was not working with this character design, so it was vetoed. However, getting the body proportions very, very difficult for me in this one. I guess it wasn't difficult, but it was very time consuming getting the right proportions I really wanted, which I mean, I kept playing around and being silly with it, so I guess I wasn't taking it very seriously, which explains why it took a while, because I kept playing if he could have big broad shoulders or really big calves. I was just feeling funny, so it did take a while. But of course, I went with the obvious answer, that is really tall and pretty skinny. I think in the end the body type I chose was very good for a wiener dog in my humble opinion, but I think it sold the idea pretty well. But I did just transform the sketch and keep reworking it until I got something I liked. And I did try adding a tail that was kind of long like the original, but it just looked like a little piece of string on his hip and it just looked really weird in the ref sheet. So I'm like, you know what, he's just gonna have a little nub of a tail. It'll be behind him, you can't see it on the ref sheet, but it's there in theory. Chrissy also agreed with that, if you wanted to know. She was on a call with me and she also agreed that that was the right move. Now onto line art. It was very simple. I used my pen brush, which if you know me and my little art ways, my pen brush is the get it done brush, you know what I mean? It's it does the job, and that's good enough. Since there's not much to say about the line art, I'll let you watch and then we'll get back together when we do the coloring. Now for the coloring, I just put down that green color because it's the most predominant color on the original, and I use that as my base so I could clip all the layers above it and then color on it, which is very easy and very fun. Now, something I wanted to do that the original didn't have is give him color around his eyes. I originally colored this in with magenta and realized that looked silly, so I took a darker accent green color and added that instead. And then to add that magenta color, I did, of course, do the same thing as the original did, putting that under the snoot and on the tummy and all the way down. And I did add it as the unibrow, which was the best idea in my humble opinion. I think that brings this whole design together, is that stripe of just color. I think it's beautiful, I think it's lovely, and I think it's amazing. Now, something I had in mind going into this character was I wanted it to be a sibling of Ivy and Mixie. Now, last episode I talked about Mixie potentially being Ivy's sister, and my goal, or in theory, is for these characters to be siblings. I'm not sure yet, I'm not completely sold on the idea, but in theory I do really like it. Now, I probably won't completely decide for a while, but this is my idea right now, and I'm kind of working towards it. So I kind of wanted that green color to match Ivy. I'm not sure if I used her specific color, but they are very similar. And to allude to Mixie's design, I wanted to add kind of a bubble pattern on the calves. So I took that accent green color and I kind of put 2 bubbles on the calves. It's not the same as hers because they're bigger, but it definitely, like, you know, gives an example of her. And then I looked at this, I'm like, it needs an accent pink color or magenta color. So I tried a lighter pink on the calves, gave it like a bubble stripe, and then on the paws, and I did not like it. So I eventually changed it to a darker magenta color. I even tried a weird inverted pattern on the stomach and chest, and then I realized even if that worked, it's way too difficult to redraw several times. I mean, it's not that difficult, but it would be really annoying and tedious to animate or redraw all the time. So I'm like, I'm not going to keep it, and I'm going to just make it that solid color, because that solid color really breaks up the design, so it's nice. And that shawl pattern over the shoulders with the dark green and white, I think look beautiful. I think that's great. I think she's stunning. I think that looks good, and I really, yeah, again, I do like how the pink breaks that up in the middle. And I made his eyes magenta, because that just seemed logical. And I think that's pretty much it for this design. I did put dark magenta on the paw pads, but that's pretty much it for this design. I think he looks stunning. I love him. I love his body type, that he's so tall, relatively skinny, and he's got such like a shy, innocent personality, and I think so. Maybe that'll change, but I really doubt it. Just look at him. Tell me he doesn't look pure and innocent and adorable. Now, I don't have an official name for him, so if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them, but after looking at this character for a while, I think I might name him Paul. I don't know, he just kind of screams Paul to me. So, I mean, it might be that, I don't know. But if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. Alright everyone, that concludes today's video. Subscribe, comment, like. If you want to support me, go to the description. There you can find my Ko-fi. There you can send me a coffee, buy a YCH, buy an Adopt, or become a member. If you want to discuss art, animation, toy house, anything of that matter, you can go to the description, find mycard.co. There, if you click that, click that, you can find a Discord icon. If you click that, it will take you directly to my Discord account. You can talk to me there. You don't even need to type in my username. It's like magic. It's no hassle. It's real easy. I would love to discuss any art things with you. That's it. I love you. Thank you for being here with me today. Tomorrow's character design is going to be really great. Here's a sneak peek. She's definitely, it's definitely a fun one. A unique one, but a fun one. Anyway, bye. Love you.